Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Darcy's Misadventures with Mixed Media. And sometimes when I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I know I want to do something creative, I'll pull out my prompts and just go from there. So these are the ones I've already done in the past. I could stick them back in there, but I have so many and I want to like eventually get through them all. So that's why I take them out. Maybe next time I'll keep them in. I don't know. We'll see. But I will shuffle these up. I'm glad I made them big enough to be able to shuffle them up. I made them, the size they are is the size they are so that they'll fit in this box. What is this box? I don't know. It had little baby, well, they're baby. They're smaller than a regular keychain is what was in there. I got rid of a lot of them, but I kept some. Because, you know, sometimes it's cheaper to buy things in bulk than to buy just a few at a time. Alright, how many are we picking? I don't know. Let's start with 4. And see where we go from there. So, frame. Okay, I know where my frames are if I do that, but that might not be. Industry. Oh, industry. Whatever will become of me. Mushrooms. Something of the sea. Carrie, that's yours. Something of the sea. Industry. Mushrooms and frame. What's sad is the thing that comes to mind with industry and something of the sea together is like trash. So I might see if there's something recycled I could use that so that it doesn't become something of the sea. Or water, or what else? Salt. Oh, salt. Ah, see, sometimes you gotta think outside the box, because I'm like, how are mushrooms and something of the sea gonna go together? Well, the sea has salt, so I am going to use salt. I brought my salt upstairs. Did I leave? Oh, good. I left some salt downstairs. I brought the coarse salt back upstairs because we were making caramel salted cookies. So I've got some salt, so that means I'm probably going to want to use some watercolors. So I'll grab some watercolors. I've got mushrooms. I'll think about the frame because there's different ways I could go about doing the frame. I could just go ahead and use a frame from my box. Or I could turn a page into a frame. And also I need to decide which book I want to use. Oops, I have several options. This is an actual art book. Let's see. And then I've got my dump journal, which is fun to play in. I've got, oh, my other... Ooh, I also have like a really big book now too, which I don't know where to put it. I've got this art journal. Let's see, I've got a glue book. Nothing wrong with using a glue book. I've got my personal journal if I wanted to do it in there. And this is kind of my dump, I never called it a dump journal, but I love that Carrie does, Carrie the Crafter. I think this is the journal that inspired his dump journal. This is just a, it's just an altered book, and I just was trying things in it. I was learning about Mary Lloyd Jones, and was inspired by some of her work and her colors and some of the things she used in her artwork. Like this is clear, thick gesso, I think, that I made marks in. But now I know I could use art glitter glue and do that and make the marks. They just would be raised instead of sunk in, but I actually wanted them to be depressed like that, like a depression instead of a texture on top. Like it's still a texture, but because it was based on carvings and rocks. So in here is a lot of, I wish I had that on camera. I have no idea how I did this, and I haven't been able to repeat it. Can you see the texture in those little circles? Ugh. But yeah, I'll just go through here now and then and just try some different things, and then I can look back through it and see what I liked and see what I want to use somewhere else. These are this is branch twig runes, I think, and these are just regular runes first languages, old languages, that's the kind of stuff that I was, you know, looking into when I was doing that. Let's see. Do I have any pages in here that I could watercolor on? I love this journal. And the pages come out. This journal cover I made after watching Gail Agostinelli do the journal covers that she made with that, like the big banner from her old school where she worked. I think that's where that came from. Oh, that's just a really fun couch. Why is it in here? It's just something I want. That's why it's in here, because I want it. I want the couch. It's very colorful and fun. I can't afford a couch like that. Alright. Well, and I was going to say this one might be a little hard to work in, but really it's not, because but there's not really any, so I could even just like do a piece of watercolor and put it in there as a tag. If you're doing the prompts and you want to do an art journal or an art journal thing, it doesn't have to be a whole page. It could be a tag. Like, I already got the mushrooms in here. Oh, that's right, I've got my mushroom stencils. I could do something with those. That could be fun. And then industry could be anything. So this could be a fun book to work in. I've already got some pages that are started. In fact, this page already has some industry stuff happening. Let's see, and because it's got the industrial words. Ooh, industry could also, like the beehive, the bees are always industrious. So you could think of things in different ways. And this is definitely, I have more blank space to be able to play with some watercolors if I choose that page. You don't have to go in order in your books either if I decide to do that in a book. So that is one option. This is the book that's not started yet. So why did I pull this one out? I think this one's empty. That one's empty. That's no good to me. Well, it's not no good. I could start it, but I have another one that has already been started. And I could even do something smaller in this book. Industry mushrooms frame. See, I could make something like I cut out a frame here, but I like that. Let's see what else. I like the idea of cutting out a frame, but I don't necessarily have to. Oh, and the piece that I want to watercolor on with the salt can be a piece that is then attached afterwards, so that if I don't want to get it wet in the book, I don't have to. I'm actually considering, let's put that back up there in a safe-ish place. Nothing is safe in my studio. I was putting together some envelopes this week, and yeah, they just were not even a little bit safe. I think I'm gonna grab a piece of watercolor paper and make a tag, I think, or journal card. So I'm just gonna use my Canson watercolor, and I might just cut it down. Well, I might start with like a master board and then cut it down. Ooh, or it could end up being two pieces, because if I want to do the frame, where did my cutter go? I had a cutter yesterday. Here it is. Oh, I really need to clean my space. This should be 12 inches. So I'm going to cut it. I don't think I need it 6 inches though. I think I'm going to, depends which book I put it in. I don't want to put it in here, I think. And if I make it small enough to go in here, if it doesn't end up going in there, it's not a big deal. Cut it out there. So the size I made, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to make that a little bit shorter. So, well, no, because I don't mind if it comes off the page. So I ended up making it like a little over 5.5 by a little over 6 inches tall. So I'm going to make second piece 6 inches so that it's smaller and 5.5. So this is going to be slightly smaller than this piece. So I'm going to layer it on the front. It's just slightly smaller. In fact, I want to go a little bit shorter. Just the tiniest bit. Okay. And I want to make this front piece a frame. So I'm going to, I think this is 1/2 inch. And I have a rotary one, so I can kind of come up, and I'm going to do this 1/2 inch over here too. Is that where I did it? I don't know exactly where the corners are, so I'm not going as far. I'm going not as far as I think I need to go. Now I can kind of see where it is. And then I might just use scissors to meet it up. So now I have my main lines for my frame, and I'm wondering, instead of I think I'm gonna rip this over like that so that it'll be kind of a grungy frame. Okay, come on. And then this one I'm gonna rip over to that side, and this one I'm gonna rip as well, and this one. And industry, I think metal. So what if we try to somehow make this frame looking like metal? I think my first, alright, first I'm gonna take my back piece and watercolor it and do the salt. Go grab, oh, I don't have to go grab some watercolors. I have watercolors right here. I always forget that I kind of keep some up here. Now my brushes are dirty, so pay no attention to my brushes. And I know I shouldn't. We're just gonna, yes, and my watercolors are dusty, so we're not. And since we're doing something of the ocean, let's also maybe do some oceany colors. Which, if I do like a orangey mushroom over it, will look really nice. Oh, maybe get these wet would help. So, just gonna get some of these colors on here. Where's, I don't have blue. Well, blue. I think that was blue ones. The very outside edge in the middle are what will show. This is the turquoise over here. I think that this is not watercolor here. This is watercolor. But the other stuff is not watercolor. So it's attached to that now forever and ever. Oh, there's a little bit, I don't know. But the whole point of this is just to add some salt and let that dry. So that was the point of that. We don't need perfection. We're just getting salt on there because salt is something of the sea. You can totally go literal, find an animal or a plant that lives in the sea and do it that way if you so choose, if you get that prompt. The prompts that I use are mostly Carrie's 100 perpetual prompts from his, I'll try to be sure to link that down below, from his website, and some of them are from my practice prompts in my Ko-fi shop that are just a list that's free that I just came up with at some point. Well, I came up with it because people were kind of like, I can't wait for December to start. And I was like, here, you want some prompts to help you pass the time, give you something to do while you're waiting. Alright, and I'm just going to paint this black, and then I'm going to get some metallics to kind of go over that to give it more of a metal industrial type feel. And I'm going to start on our next drop paper. That's why I don't worry about this drop paper, because I know it's all going to kind of end up really cool in the end. This is Finnabar Heavy Black Gesso. I put it I had half of the jar left, and so I put it in here so I'd use it more so it wouldn't dry up like my clear gesso did and my heavy white gesso did. So there's that. All right, that needs to dry. And I need, oh, metals. Metals shiny. I have this. Let's try some inks and see. Where's my, all right, we have antique bronze here. Or brushed pewter. And where's the other one? Oh, and then, or I have this, oh, sorry. This bronze, iridescent bronze. And, well, I should have the other one I should have. Ooh, numbers. Let's grab out my numbers. Those kind of feel a little industrial to me. A little bit, maybe. Oops, something just fell back there. Oh well, whatever. Oh, it's up here maybe? I'm looking at the wrong place. Here we go. Antique bronze, if I want the antique bronze. That's the third color. Ooh, a little color shift. I have a string on my sweatshirt and it just touched my arm and I'm like, what's on my arm? Oh, it's just a string. It's just a string for my sweatshirt. Alright, this is almost dry. All that dithering about helped bring that about. This is color shift. Oops, I don't probably even need that. Oh, let's put that in there. Let's find another brush. I don't need a super big brush. I want... This one, it's a new one, huh? Alright, I'm just gonna, I don't want it on there perfectly. I'm just kind of taking my, see what it does on black? Oh, it's so cool. So, I'm just going to do that with that one. That was, I just said, right? Color shift, which one? Does it say? Folk art color shift, metallic, blue violet flash. That's what that one is. And that's what it looks like on black gesso. I mean, it got a little bit of purpley up there, but when you just like hit it with it, it looks more gold. That's awesome. So that gives us kind of a metallic finish. What if we add just a little bit of this silver moss pearlescent? I'm just gonna put it right there and kind of do the, oops, that's too. I want to wipe some of that off now. I got too much. It's more than I want. Grab a baby wipe and just, because I want some of the under parts to show. I don't want to cover it up, you know what I mean? Because that one is a little bit more silvery than gold. Do I want anything else? Do I want a little bit of the bronze? Is that going too far? Is that too many different metals? I don't know. When I think industry, I think metals for some reason. We're not going to test it first. We're just going to put it on there. And I'm using one of these brushes because it's not going to give me full exact coverage. And then I'm kind of wiping it away with a what? Baby wipe. That's what this is. It's a baby wipe. So now we have some just, it just looks metal now. I think I want to try adding some texture to it. So, what kind of texture? Do I want rough texture or do I want like I just want just some texture, like there, maybe in there. And then purposefully not making these like all the same exact length or anything. Like those aren't even the same shape, which is fine. I don't know how I feel about those, but because we don't have a thing down here. But that doesn't mean we can't put something there. This will dry clear, in case you're wondering. It is art glitter glue. I'm not using anything special. And I'm just kind of doing some random things. I'm not doing symmetry, which is hard. I'm used to doing things a little bit more symmetrical, especially if there's like a frame involved. But not today, I'm not. I don't know why, but I'm not. Just doing it random. Feels weird. Feels so stupid weird. Alright, so now that needs to dry, and so does the watercolor. So I'm going to pause and then I'll be back. Okay, taking out the Vagabond, the Sizzix. I still have this paper here. Some of my papers I made last week, I wasn't able to let them go. So I'm going to try this one, I think. I do need to cut it down. Thank you, Grandpa, for your help. I think I'm just gonna, and I'm going to emboss. I've got a few here that say industry. There's this one, and this one, and even the numbers. They all say industry to me. I just have to figure out which one I want. I might not do the numbers because I got the stamps. The gears, I think I want something a little more simple, so I think I'm going to use this. And when you're doing the 3D ones, I believe you don't need both plates. You just need the bottom piece, not the magnetic one, because that only does one thing. And the top piece, I think, is all you do for that one. I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Yep, I've got some good stuff happening there, and I will highlight that. Yeah, I will probably come back and do some more things with this, because now it's open, now it's out and plugged in, so I'll hopefully do some more cutting with that before the end of the day. Just not on this video. Now let's see if I can find some. I want to highlight so I can see it a little bit better. I think I might just go ahead and take my iridescent bronze fine and just put a little bit here. It's got some. I'm going to test it out on these circles first. Color-wise, yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. So I don't want to make it all gold. I just kind of want to pick up some of the bits so that they show a little bit more, especially the rivets, or whatever you want to call them. It's almost like I could have gone through that again, but that's alright. The whole thing's not, I'm going to be cutting this down to something smaller. There we go. So now I have some metal on. Now we have this. What do I do with that? Oh, shoot. Well, fortunately, it's mostly dry. It's just not clear yet. Ooh. Well, I need to wait for that to dry, but then I think I want to go ahead and do the same thing on the glue. Ah, I had too much on my finger. What do? You come in with a paper towel, not with a baby wipe or whatever, and then you try to get it just on the tops. Have less on your finger, or use something flatter than your finger. I'm not sure which. But yeah, I just kind of want to highlight those areas, but I still want the background to show. I don't want to like totally lose the parts that I did earlier. But I still want it to be showing up there. Could even kind of do the outline of this. Oh, I could do this on the frame. This is the frame part. I mean, but I could do this on the base too. That's what I'm thinking. I did blow dry this for air, you know, use the heat gun just a little bit on this. But I think it's still going to give us some good texture and fun in the background. If I wanted to leave the salt on there, because the salt looks kind of cool, I could. I just would need to seal it down with something. But that was, I don't know. That was not my intent to leave it down, but I don't hate it either. Alright, let's take some of it off. I definitely want to take off the stuff on that edge. Well, it'd be helpful if my fingers were a little cleaner. I definitely want to take it off the edges so it's not like that. That's fine. So I have a clean part of this. See, that's what salt can do with watercolor. Isn't that so cool? And now there's salt all over my desk. It's alright. Get as much of that off as now there's iridescent bronze salt on my desk because I swiped it right through there. Alright. Loving this. I'm not sure if I love this on this, but we're going to make it work. Also, what if I'm gonna cut my frame, because I can. I mean, I have a frame. That doesn't mean I have to use it as intended. You met me before, right? I don't do anything as intended. Kind of want that piece. I want to make sure that this is going to show, because I like how that comes. Do I want to add a little bit of, and do we want to go straight? We don't have to go straight. We could totally go add, oh, that is kind of cool. Alright, before I change my mind, I am going to glue this on. So, this is sometimes if I just can't think of what I want to do, but it's not that I've lost my mojo because I want to do something creative. I either don't have any ideas or I have too many ideas. You guys have that happen to you? Oh my goodness, too many ideas is definitely a thing that happens to me. I will use the prompts. And as you can see, I'm now doing things that I didn't even imagine doing. And all because I had some prompts to just kind of push me there. Now, this glue idea was from PM Artist Studio. And the people I mentioned I'll try to put down. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. But I try to put people down there because, one, they might like to, I like to know when people talk about me. So I like when people, you know, let me know that they've mentioned me in a video, and then I can go watch and be like, ooh, she said my name. Or he said my name. You know, I love that. It makes me happy. Oh, that's so cool. I'm using a frame, but it's not like a frame, like, oh, I love it. Okay. Now for the mushroom. Now, do I want this to be the top and the bottom, or just the bottom? I don't know yet. I do. Now, this is not how my mushrooms come. This was my original cutout from my mushrooms for the PM Artist Studio. The actual PM Artist Studio has 6, and they are not as big as this. Do I want to go big? Do I want... See, I think this one's too big. This one might be the right size. And it won't cover up those two parts that I really like necessarily. There we go. Yeah. I think this one. Let's try that one. So I'm just going to turn this over so that I can draw it out and not have to erase it afterwards, because, you know, I'm kind of lazy like that. And I can see it better. And when I cut it out, I don't have to necessarily cut it out perfectly. So if you do get the mushrooms, you should get the outer bits, I believe. Yes, if I had done that in pen, I'd be able to see it better, but that's alright. Because then you can do fun things like this. And if I want to make it a little bit more wonky, I can just kind of come out here on the bottom a little bit more to accentuate that. And come out on the bottom a little bit more here just to accentuate that, to make it a little bit more wonky. And I do want to edge that with what? A dark color. Ooh, how about plum? Plum. I've got, where'd it go? Well, that's not plum. There it is. It's hard to see because it's it looks more burgundy, even though it says plum on it. And this is an archival ink, but there's kind of sort of that color in the mushroom, so I thought it might be nice to do that. So your art page, your art that you do does not have to be a full page. It can be just a journal card or tag, or even a pocket that you put a journal card or tag in later into your book. See the difference that makes just by having that outlined. And then I know P would say to do a little pencil work once I get this on here. Alright, is that too much metallic? Is that... I think I want to... if I do archival, I'm going to be stuck with it, but it's alright. I'm just going to grunge this up a little bit with the archival... I just had one. Oh, my nose is running. Just kind of want to put it on and then take it off a little bit, I guess. I want it on there again, though. Because I want it just on the very... The nails are going to be black. Is basically what we're... Alright, how does he look now? Does he look a little bit... Because we have the shiny, yeah, he was just too shiny before. Definitely need something in the background. But I think I need to put him down first. And then maybe give him some shadows. Do I want that tip to touch there? Or do I want this? It's here. I might have a problem with this. Oh, let's turn it over. See if we like it better like this. Ah, maybe. Because... See, this was the one corner that didn't have that thing. So I don't mind... Oh, it's too low, though. I don't mind covering that corner, but... Alright. Before I put that on there, I'm going to add these numbers. And do I want them to be... I think I might add them... Mermaid Lagoon might be too... I don't know about that one. What about Forget Me Not is too blue for sure. Garden Patina. I think I want something that is a darker... Ooh, what about Cobalt? Maybe, let's see. That would be Cobalt. And this one would be Garden Patina. This one, what is it, 247? I could do more than one color even. Would be the Mermaid Lagoon. Which, Mermaid Lagoon, that would also be something of the sea, too. Which way does this go? It doesn't matter. I'm using it as a background. So, I think I'll do some of these in the Mermaid Lagoon and some in the Cobalt. This doesn't matter because it's a 6 or a 9. Who knows? And they're not getting on there perfectly, and I am okay with that. Kind of wish I had done this before. That's okay. This is mostly going to get covered anyway before I put the frames on. That's what I'm saying. And the other number we have is 4, and I'll do that one with the Cobalt. And I might even just come in and put them to the back just a little bit. Like, A little bit of gesso. I know that's watercolor, and also, well, or matte medium, whichever. Let me see, before I make that decision. Yeah, the numbers are just they're too much now. Oh, that was a lot. It blurted out on me. I hate when that happens. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Alright. Where did my... Oh, we don't have to use that brush. We can use... That brush is too big. Any brush. If we could just find our brushes. We just have to be able to find brushes in order to use brushes. So here is like a 1/2 inch weird ugly one. So we're just gonna get that, take a lot of that off and just too much. There we go. Just want like a shadow of it. I don't need it to be, there we go. Do you see what that, see how the difference between that and that? So I'm just using my baby wipe to kind of like spread it out a little bit more and pull some up a little bit. There we go. Now it's a little bit more in the background. Now, I don't want to accentuate these, so I'm not gonna like give these like a background or whatever. I am gonna maybe do this thing I do sometimes on the edges, which also could be of the ocean, you know, with the white foam that comes up on the water. That's what this could be representing, you know, until I put ink on it, which I'll probably totally do. But it just kind of, it gives it a, it's how I like to grunge things up sometimes. And so I might, so I don't waste this paint, find some more pieces to do that on real quick, or to add some of this on. I like, just want to push this into the background for sure. That's just my mom's handwriting. I didn't use anything personal from her journal. I just, if there was like, mostly if there was a verse is what I did. That was not a verse though. Don't know what that was, but it was not a verse. Let's see, this one. Just do some wisps on it. This one has a lot going on with the inks and the distress. Let's see. How about this one? This one does not have a lot going on, but I just might want to just grunge it up a little bit. That's all. What else do we have here? I love how this one, how the texture came through on that one. See, that one almost looks like it already has it on there, but we're just going to make it, maybe just put that purple to the back a little bit with that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Especially where we have the, oh, I could just take out some book page and just do it on some book page. That'd be cool too. So yeah, if you have extra paint, just grab out some of your pieces that are unfinished. I mean, they don't have to be unfinished, they could be finished. And just add a little bit of your paint to it. Adds a little bit of grunginess, you know? Pushes back the background a little bit. Maybe you don't want that much red, pink, whatever color that is. Pretty sure it's red. And when I go and ink these up later, they'll just look more grungy. Oh, see, and this one's just plain, so it could definitely use a little something to make it grunge it up a little bit. I mean, I know you're thinking I can't see anything, which maybe you can't, but I can. I mean, it's light. It's subtle. It's super subtle. All right, that can go in there. All right. Now we have this. I need something around the edge. I think I've got my, just go ahead and use my, this is not coffee one, this is ground espresso is what I have re-inked it with because I had 2 coffee ones. And, oh, here it is. I was going to say, of course, let's see. I could use this or I could even use this. And if I use this, then I can just kind of come in a little bit more and give it more of a vignette. So that it's whoops. This is 140-pound watercolor paper, so if it's bending, that's I've really done some stuff to it, I guess. All right, here we go. Industry is dark, dangerous. Well, it's not dangerous, but you know, there's a dark side to industry, right? I think we definitely got industry in here, and our mushroom. And oh, I want to make sure I can see the effect of the, it's mostly in there. I don't want to lose that. Definitely don't want to, okay, well what if I put him way over here? I could even have him be off the page just a little bit. Let's see, do we have some of this still? And we could just kind of, this is the one that gives me hassles sometimes. Grandma, tell me about the good old days. Now what did I put on this? A little bit of this. Oh, that I already did. And this, right? I don't need it to be exactly the same, but I do want to grunge it up a little. And also the plum. Plum. Plum, 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 plum. I might also outline the other one with some black as well. Just gonna use this, which I get annoyed when other people do it, but it's actually kind of the look that I want right now is what happened with that one. And then I'm gonna add some more plum again. More plum. I'm just double inking the outside because I can do that if I want to. I mean, this is definitely. So now I can maybe have that. I just needed a filler for up there because it was just so, I wanted to balance it, you know what I mean? But alright, so we can still see. If it's this way, I can definitely still see it. And I've got my weird corners happening there. Alright, I'm just going to start gluing stuff down now. It's not that big a deal. Stop making it feel like more of a deal than it is, Darcy. Come on. I think size-wise, I've got a good size of my mushroom here. Oh, I'm going to go off the side just a little bit. Alright, we're still touching that frame. And yeah, I do need something up there. Do I want it to come out down? Could have it come in the corner like that, or I could have it come. Alright, we're just gonna glue it down. Not gonna worry so much about it. Could always cut another piece of a circle if we want to. Alright, I do kind of want those lines to be straight because everything else is crooked, but all my lines here go up and down, so I want my lines on my circle to go up and down because that's how I roll. And I was just using like the scrap piece, so now This is where Patricia would come in with watercolors. I have my Derwents. Don't know about watercolors. Leaf green, no. Bright blue, I don't think so. Or maybe. This one is Baked Earth. Is there another blue that goes with the water a little bit more, but is darker than the water? What is this one? Violet. No. Deep indigo, maybe. Maybe deep indigo. So I just kind of want a little shadow on this side. Also, he needs a little bit of ground. Although even if he's floating in the water, he needs grounding. We all need a little grounding now and then. And also I'm going to do this bottom here. And then I'm going to take a brush, not that one. I want one that's fairly thin but also pointy that I can control a little bit. I need it pointy. Probably need a little wetter than that too, but I don't always do this. I don't always think to do this. This part of it. Just gonna bring that out a little bit. Kind of come down the frame a little bit too. Just kind of shadow over here. There would also be a shadow down here, even if it's not on that side. Where'd it go? Indigo, 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 indigo. A little more wet. That was too much wet. I lost everything. I lost all the color and everything. I don't mind if it actually gets on that paper too. There we go. I'm going to have to sharpen that, aren't I? Okay, here's the problem. I don't want a line is the problem, and I kept getting a line every time I was trying to do that. So I figured I'd just kind of do that instead. So if we have shadow, then we need to have light, right? A little bit of light. Let there be light. Do I want white for my light, or do I want silver for my light, or gold? Since we don't have any silver on here, I don't know. This is silver. I have two silvers out. I thought I pulled. Oh my goodness. What's wrong with you, lady? I don't have a gold in here. Why don't you have gold? I don't know. Let's see, what if we just kind of do just a little bit of on the tops of these where a light might hit them, so that we can kind of accentuate that they do stick out a little bit. And if we do that, then we also might want to take a darker color. Well, here the plum might work, right? Is that the other color I had? Plum violet, I mean. Just kind of come underneath here. Underneath. Just give them some dimension. Put it underneath there a little bit. That one's under. That one is under. And once again, I think I missed some down here for the light up at the top. Is that separated there? Kind of. Did I do there? Oh, oh, that's right. Alright. I don't know if that made any difference or not. I mean, I noticed the light. I don't know that I noticed the dark on the bottom or not. It's a little too purple. So, what do? We just, I don't know what we do. Oh, our baby wipe. That's where we come back in with our baby wipe and just there we go. I mean, it's still purple, but there's not as much of it. Oh, I didn't do it there. There we go. I don't know. Did I already ink it on the outside? It feels like it needs a more stronger outside inking, you know what I mean? Like maybe black to frame it out a little bit more. So I'm going to use the permanent archival jet black to just ink that out. And I think we hit the prompts with something of the sea. And you do have however many prompts you feel like doing. Sometimes I do 1, sometimes 3, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, sometimes 10. It's whatever I feel like doing. So we have the salt, which is something of the sea. We have the frame, which I cut in half and just made it as like background. The mushroom, which also is industry. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? There we go. There's a piece of ephemera using prompts. I still don't know exactly which book it will go in because it doesn't really fit the aesthetic of this one, but does that really matter? I mean, well, it does have some of the colors. I mean, why wouldn't a baby? I have little jumping babies. This is from a book. There were all these little jumping babies and I just love them. I think they're so adorable. See, ooh. I don't hate that across from there. And I could even make it a pocket, or I could just glue it on there, or I could even make it a flip. So I could still do something on that page if I wanted to. Is there any place I like more? Oh, see, he goes off on the side there though, which actually is okay. Because if I want to make it a flip, I'd have to make it a flip on this side anyway. Which is... it's not that big a deal. It's just the Russian book page. I think I might just glue it right there. There we go. Because we got a little bit of pink in here. Like over. Actually, I could even just. I don't want to cover that. Alright, I'm just going to glue this on here as a side pocket just in case I want to put anything under there. I'll have that option. And I will. I want to remember when I made it. Too, so I'll put a little date. I'll initial the bottom and do a little tiny little a date. Oh shoot, where did I put that? I have a thing that does the date. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. It's supposed to be somewhere where I can find it, which would be the point of it. I think it's, I don't know. I'll find it and then I'll date this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and next time you are having a hard time coming up with something to do, go pull some prompts. You can see how I've made some prompts. I think I have a thing, or you could just put them on paper and throw them in a cup. You could have them on a page with numbers and roll dice or whatever. However you like to do prompts, or I think some people do the popsicle sticks. Ew, can't do popsicle sticks. Okay, love you guys. Did I show it up close to you? Did I say have a delightful day? Have a delightful day. Love you.